Well, what if you're craving both pizza and a creamy mac and cheese? Well, you can get best of both worlds with this pizza mac and cheese with four different cheeses, a homemade pizza sauce, creamy bechamel sauce. This has got everything. And I know you want it too, because you all love pizza. Let's get started first by boiling some water, bringing it to a rolling boil, and then cooking your macaroni until al dente. And this is a can of San Marzano type tomatoes, and you can see there's a lot of excess water on the sides here. So first thing we want to do is make a thick sauce so that our mac and cheese does not become all watery from that excess moisture. So we'll do this. So all your canned tomatoes are here, and the tomatoes you're going to use is going to be in this other bowl. So now just grab these tomatoes, and if you want, honestly, you can remove this core of the tomato. Just pull that out, any skin that you see here. Dump that in another bowl. Open this up. You see the skin here? Get to the skin. And then open it up and grab all those seeds and dump it right in there. Try to get as much water out and then lightly crush and add to this other bowl. So I'm going to repeat that process for the rest of this. And what you actually just want is that nice pulpy tomato. Slightly squeeze and transfer. And with one 28-ounce can, you're gonna get roughly this much of actual usable pulpy tomato. Yeah, there are some seeds here, but you could be more meticulous if you want and just take extra precaution. But honestly, the ratio is so low that it would be fine. Plus, there's some more water in here, so I'm just gonna drain all this excess water that I didn't drain earlier. Now grab a fork or a masher and just kind of lightly mash this tomato up. And we're making a raw sauce because it's going to end up cooking in the casserole as the pizza mac finishes baking. So it's just easier for you. You save some time. Or you could use strained tomatoes or passata, which are already strained, but you're going to miss out on that pulpy, sweet San Marzano texture that I'm going to put in my pizza mac and cheese. Some salt. I do the same with my pizzas. I make a raw sauce and the sauce cooks with the dough in the oven. Then a touch of olive oil, some dried oregano, touch of chili flakes, and some minced garlic. Give this all a nice mix. And you can tell as I mix this how nice and thick and rich that sauce is. And now it's time for our bechamel, and I'm going to use my same recipe for my classic mac and cheese, and for pizza lovers, basically, convert this into a pizza mac. Starting with some butter and equal parts of flour. And I'm going to add a touch of garlic powder in there as well. It's about a half teaspoon. And now we just need to combine the flour with the butter. You can see now that the roux is starting to kind of bubble up slightly. And when it starts to smell a bit nutty, and then we can add the milk. And that point for me is right about here. It smells great. A touch of milk. And then whisk. And every time, you'll notice this, every time the milk starts to simmer or bubble, that's when it starts to thicken. So the moment you see that, add in a touch more milk, and every time you'll have a smooth bechamel. Now once you've added all the milk, season with some salt, a touch of black pepper, I just prefer that over white pepper, and some fresh nutmeg. By the time you're done, your bechamel will start to simmer again, and we want to wait until it has thickened. So to check if the bechamel is ready to accept the cheese, grab a spoon, dip it in the sauce, then draw a streak. If the sauce doesn't drip downwards to cover that gap, that means it's thick enough. The cheeses that I'm using is Emmental, some old cheddar, Gruyere, which is just amazing with something like this. Just so sharp, tasty, rich, and then mozzarella for the top, for our pizza part. With the heat off, add in your Emmental cheese, your Gruyere cheese, and your old cheddar. And then just gently melt that in here. And that sauce is now so creamy, cheesy, and ready. No, that's perfect. And I don't want any more salt in here, but feel free to add some if you find it's lacking it. So now you can go ahead and add in your macaroni, which I've cooked here to just about al dente. Mix that until every single crevice in that mac and cheese is full of that cheesy sauce. Can you hear that? Now transfer your mac and cheese into your casserole. Make sure it's large enough. Now you can add in the tomato sauce in here, but I'm not going to mix it. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lightly spread that over the top. So when you eat it, you'll get to enjoy the mac and cheese. And if you want, you can stir in the sauce as you want. So just like that, just lightly on top. Now top this up with your mozzarella. And now it's just your pizza. I want to make it with some jalapenos, red onions, and some pepperoni right here, which I'm pretty excited for. But at this point, whatever pizza you're feeling, put those toppings on top, that rhymed, and enjoy. So let's just assemble this now. And this is now ready. Now my oven is heating at 350, so let's put this in. Now, as you notice, I put the oven rack on the topmost rack that I have so it can fit the casserole. But the idea that I have is I'm only gonna cook it until that cheese is molten, and then I'm gonna turn on the broiler for a few minutes just to get some extra char on the toppings and a bit on the cheese if I can get some. But if you like a more well done sort of mac and cheese, then you can put that in the middle rack and cook it at 350 for about 30 or so minutes. But whichever approach you choose, you're gonna get something delicious just like this. And it's kind of fun to pizzafy, quote unquote, things such as pizza bagels, pizza fries, pizza mac and cheese, like this one over here. And I wanna know which mac and cheese recipe you all want to see next. This one was had so quickly, and trust me, just having the sauce not being completely mixed in and just being on the top really gives you the control that you want to enjoy the saucy part, the mac and cheese part, and the toppings either together or by itself. For more videos like this, hit subscribe, hit the bell icon, and if you want a fusion mac and cheese recipe, check out my butter chicken mac.